There we go.
Hi.
Here we are.
No,
the cat is not nursing. It's just her favorite position. Hi, everybody. And on that note, welcome to our show.
Just us.
Just us. Where's our chat? Who's out there? No, there's 4 people out there. Is it just us? Nobody's out there? Oh, no.
No, we got 4 people.
Here we go. Leah, that's it.
Is that I mean, I don't see, guest chat. I don't see anybody in the chat.
No, not today.
4 eyes? Oh, anyway.
We're still doing the show. Here we go.
And we are. But is that us? Are the 4 eyes, the 4 of us? No, Nicole's there. Hello. Thank you, Nicole. Woohoo. I don't know why I'm not seeing the comments.
I'm not either. Yeah, it's weird.
Is there a reason we can't see comments, Sean? Normally I get to see, so I know who's out there.
I don't see anything.
Right. Well, anyway, hi, I'm Julianne with Kat, and you guys know me, Julianne Delara, T12 incomplete from transverse myelitis, and delighted to see everybody out there. Michelle, over to you.
Hi guys, Michelle Altamirano. I'm 36 years post-injury, C6-7, and good to be here as well. Ellen?
Hi, I am Ellen Stoll. I am 43 years post-injury, just this last January 22nd.
Congrats.
I am a C5678T1 incomplete quadriplegic due to a automobile accident on the 57 southbound and the 91 westbound.
Oh, wow.
You get flashbacks when you go back
yes, I do. I actually had a huge flashback because, it's one of those almost 360 curves. So the Wilshire exit off the 405, if you go Wilshire East off the 405.
Oh, yeah.
Huge flashback on that one. So I went, just started sobbing. And because for a long time, I mean, I remembered the accident when it happened, and then my brain shut it all down. And then it was, when did I date John? So probably 10 years later, it all came back to me. Like I remembered it, blocked it out. Then all of a sudden it said, yeah, you're healthy to remember again. And and that was on that Wilshire curve. I just
that's a danger.
It hits hard.
Hit like like a ton of bricks, just the entire flipping, rolling, flying, crashing, whole 9 yards. So, but yes, now I remember the accident.
Sean, I can see the chat now. So
I can too.
So here we go. Yes. Okay.
Sean, you want to put our sponsors up?
Exactly. That's what I was going to say. Our sponsors. Thank you to our sponsors. We've got urology professionals and mobility professionals. Thank you for your support. And your support allows us to put this show up on the air on YouTube. So we appreciate your generosity and ongoing support, guys. Here we go.
Yeah, and our good friend Anthony Ricochet is now working with them as well. So along with Dean, we have Anthony, guys who have so much experience in our condition and our situations. So good people to work with.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Amazing people.
All right. So do you want to go over our topic today, Julianne?
Yeah. So I've been working a lot. Well, we all have on, okay, I need fill in the blank. How can I get funding to get fill in the blank for my situation? And luckily, unlike 96, when I was paralyzed, there are a whole lot of private foundations, government organizations that will help you fund all kinds of things, anywhere from a couple bucks all the way up. The biggest one I know is $7,000 right now, but maybe the other girls have more information. So the three of us, as you have heard, we've got a lot of experience in the chair. So I thought today we would share resources and especially the tricks and tips on how to apply so that you actually get a yes answer from these organizations. Right?
Absolutely. Yes.
So the girls and I have lists of organizations we can go through if you want to ask us in the chat about anything in particular you want funding for. But I thought we'd start out with just, what are you girls? What's your experience? in trying to get funding for something you need.
Okay. Well, in working with Wings way back when, we did have a grant program, our little AIMS, Awards in Motion to
Oh, that's
Succeed.
right.
Oh
And
my
yeah,
gosh, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
one thing that goes for every funding source, they do have criteria that you have to meet. And before you kind of head out and fill it out and throw it, make sure you do your research. Make sure that you are within the geographical area they cover, first of all, that you're requesting something that they do fund, and that you do your homework on the things you are requesting. It's like I could go on there and say, I want this, whatever, hand bike kind of a thing, right? Okay, well, what type? What do I need? How much is it going to cost? How am I going to get it around, and all of that. So, make sure what you're applying for, that it's definitely something that you're going to utilize, because there's lots of people out there that, could use specialized equipment or sports equipment or health equipment. So, you don't want to use up those funds if you're just going to use your bike as a clothes rack or whatever it is. So, yeah, make sure you've got all the specifics going in. Make sure you fill out their application thoroughly, because we need all that information. So, and they're not going to waste their time going back and forth if you forgot to fill out this question and that question, because that's only going to make the process last longer and you might end up getting a denial. So, one thing that really helped us when we were reviewing applications way back when is we would request at least two estimates of what it is that you need. Okay, I talked to two contractors and it's going to be X amount of dollars to build a ramp to my front door. I've got these two guys that, this is the deal here and all of that. So know what you're applying. Make sure it's something that you are definitely going to utilize, and make sure you know what it's going to cost, because it helps you so much more along the way. When they already know, they're not having to do research. You already know what it is that you want and what you need, and it really helps facilitate the application process. Ladies, go.
Yeah, Jeanette was saying that that she has a standard letter, and I think that is such a great way to start, to build your template and then adjust it to what you need. But you made me think of Wings, Michelle, project support for
Yeah.
spinal cord injury, which was before it
Ooh.
became Wings. They
Yeah.
helped me.
Yes.
I had got my grandma helped me got a new car, and it was a lemon, and it was way back in the day, and the engine was bad, and project support paid for a new engine for my car.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have been, I mean, I was in school, I would have been not able to do anything if they had not. And it was,
Yeah.
again, finding the people that could do it, getting the estimates of what it would cost, turning it in, and then discussing why it was needed. Like, because without a car, I can't get anywhere.
Yes.
This is Los
Yes.
Angeles. The buses suck. So,
Do you
plus,
remember how much that was?
Yeah.
oh, that
Do you
was,
remember the
I
amount?
think I was one of their first people that they,
Oh yeah.
yeah, so that was back in the day. It was like 5 or 6 grand. It was not cheap. It
Like,
was a lot.
yeah,
But I
89,
think
90.
yeah, it
I
was like one of
remember.
the first things.
Mhm.
And so,
Yeah.
when they're starting out new, sometimes they don't have money, and then sometimes they do, and they don't know how to give it away, so they give more away. So, it
That's
depends.
been my
Sometimes, yeah,
experience. At
Yes.
right?
first, when we have, I work with the Cal Rehab Foundation now, and when we first get a chunk of money, it's like, oh yay, we've got so
Ooh.
much we can give away. Woohoo!
Yeah.
Now, quickly, my experience
Mhm.
was pre 9/11, and I applied to a charity which is long gone now, and they gave me $30,000 to buy a van.
Oh,
Woohoo!
whoa.
And
Girl. Woo.
I went down to Advanced Mobility to buy a van, and they offered me a job, and that's how I started out selling vans, and it became my career.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
that was, I mean, it was
Wow.
truly a life-changing experience, because
Yeah.
I was
mhm.
newly divorced. I had to support my kids, and all of a sudden, and I knew I needed a van, so I got a van, and the way I supported my kids for the rest of their
Wow.
lives, pretty much. So,
Very cool.
but we also discovered after 9/11, the money was going to different charities and not so much to us. At least that was my experience.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's the thing. I think most organizations do kind of have an average amount that they try to allocate per person. That way they can help more people. But I'm sure it's all, they look at everything on a one-on-one basis, and sometimes they can give a little more, other times maybe not as much. And one thing that they like to see is that you're trying other resources. Say, ooh, my ramp's going to cost $10,000, and this organization's average is about 2 to 3,000 or whatever. So I'm going to find multiple funding sources. And on my end, if I'm able to contribute, say I'm going to save up $1,000 to go towards it. They want to see you actively trying to secure funding with various resources, not just, try to tap out one, but they call it community partnering. So, they're hoping that, hey, I'm going to apply for Triumph for, a couple $1,000, and then I'm going to go to Cal Rehab and tell them, okay, this is my big thing. I've applied to Triumph. And that's the thing. It's like, you got to let them know you're applying for another organization and not be applying for the same thing to 2 or 3 different funding sources. That also kind of, waste.
I know we've been working with
So,
the Perfect Foundation a lot. And you mentioned, Michelle, doing your research ahead of time. That is so, so, so important. For example, we have a certain amount of funds that are just for traumatic spinal cord injury. So somebody like me, transverse myelitis, nope, sorry, we don't have money for you. It has to be traumatic spinal cord injury. Whereas I believe Triumph Foundation, it's either or. It's, are you in a wheelchair? Are you, physically disabled in that way? But how you got there is not the problem.
Yeah, they consider it trauma/disease, which ends up in paralysis anyway. So, yeah.
Right. But don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Read carefully.
Yes, absolutely. And also, some of them only fund specific things. There's one organization that only does recreational and sports equipment. There's, different ones that'll help you get hand controls and whatever it is you need, and home modifications. So yeah, definitely know
I
what
was
you're applying for and who
by
you're applying to.
how many different private charities fund home mods. As I was looking on the list, I looked at Triumph, I looked at Christopher Reeve, and I looked at United Spinal. All of them have very good lists. And home mods, there were big, long lists. Now, Kelly
And
Brush
don't,
Foundation, which does the sports equipment, they're interesting because their rule is, if you read the fine print, you have to ask for some kind of equipment that will get you out of the house. Having a home exercise machine, nope, they don't know, not at all. But a hand cycle, yeah, they want you out of the
get
house,
out.
ideally with other people.
I don't know. Did you know Kelly Brush was a world-class downhill skier
I did not.
until
Very cool.
had a really bad fall at one of her competitions and ended up a para. So
That's why their home office is in Vermont.
There you go.
Yeah,
yeah,
but
she
they
still
work
skis.
naturally.
And another section of their organization is teaching safety to downhill skiers. So
I
Well, that makes sense.
look them up. Yeah, I was looking them up recently because I didn't know enough about them. Another thing to keep in mind is some of them have windows into which you can apply. Cali Brush is one of them, and they do not accept late applications. You might as well hold off till the next period comes along to apply, because then you'll just be wasting your time. So make sure to pay attention to that and to actually include everything they're requesting before you send in the application.
And New Mobility this month has a guide to funding accessible home modifications. So I put it in the chat. I don't know if it went in because I put it in guest chat. I don't know if it goes to everybody or not.
Okay.
But it is funding accessible home modifications. They have a lot of links and grants and how to get, repairs and stuff. If you are a veteran, they have an amazing adapted housing grant that will pay up to $121,000 to help you build or change your permanent home and make it accessible. So you also want to look at other special identities you might have other than just having the disability. If you're a veteran, if you have veteran status or others, just other statuses, right? That might be serving that population. Women over 50. If you're over 62, there's various ones. Thank you, Liv Terrell, for putting that in there. But I mean, and as you get older, like my house, my kitchen wasn't modified earlier. And it seems fine, but now that I am 62 or will be 62, or am I 62? How old am I, folks? 64. Somebody try to help me remember. I will be 62 in April. So I would qualify for one of these programs. And it is a loan program, but it's at 1% for 20 years, right? So it's a very low loan that you could get to do modifications. Because I really, as I think about it, I would like to remodify my kitchen. I mean, I would love to redo my kitchen and have it much more easier for me to function in, because it just you just can't do it anymore, right? I mean, you can, but it takes too long, and then you're like, screw it. Yeah. So, I mean, you also, like, looking at your own, like, evolution, like, it's really important to look at what your needs are for evolution, right? Like, I used to drive a Mustang convertible when I could get my ass in and out of it, and then couldn't get my ass in and out of it anymore, and I had a kid. So, there's nothing wrong with realizing that as you age and grow and your needs change, you can you didn't use them then, you might use them now. And I think it's really important. And yes, we should say hi to the folks out there. Nicole, Leah, Leon is out there, Jeanette, and Steve and Sean and Leon and Leah. I think I said everybody. Just saying hi to the folks out there. We really appreciate your support and being here.
Absolutely.
But yeah, home modifications. I mean, look it up, and today, anything you think you might need, there might be somebody out there that does it. So before you just go pay for it, I suggest going to look it up, see what's out there.
Absolutely. Yeah, like I'm looking at United Spinal here, just the number of rehab grants you've done your inpatient, insurance is paid for outpatient. Now what? There are a whole lot of, although one is called Falling Forward, which is a little odd. Okay. and then there's Getting Back Up. That's another one.
Falling Forward.
Yeah, and then Getting Back Up, and then Walking with Anthony. So anyway, and then there's also, Ellen, there's travel assistance grants.
Oh, that's nice to know.
From the New Perspective Foundation.
Yeah.
So you want to fill us in on how you got your travel paid for?
Well, I mean, I learned early. I was a PR major in my undergraduate, and my mom could. She was really good at optimizing the systems and what's out there. So I learned early to find out what my expertise is, and to offer trade outs. So a lot of times I would do lectures for the cost of hotel and travel. And a small stipend, and then writing articles for New Mobility Magazine. I would, before influencers were influencers, because I will never be an online influencer. It's just, I can't even imagine it.
No, God.
I can't even imagine. I'm an old school influencer where I would write articles or do lectures or do press for them, coming to an event and doing press for them. So I would trade out my expertise, and I still do it. So when I went to Greece, I had seen that they were working on trying to become one of the top accessible travel destinations in the world. And I said, hey, I can help you with that, and I can write a story about it. And so I got a hold of the GNTO, and they didn't pay for my airfare, but they did help with hotel and set me up with seeing things and sort of navigating Greece. I got a car with a ramp and a driver, which really made a huge difference in getting around. So yeah, I mean, it made a huge difference. I think, trusting your expertise and understanding that as a person with an impairment, you have a lot of lived experience that can be incredibly valuable. And instead
Absolutely.
of coming out like I'm going to sue you, come in like I can help you avoid being sued in exchange for, I
Absolutely.
don't know,
Yeah.
your favorite restaurant. Come in and say, give me $500 worth of free meals, and I'll come in and give you a rundown of what really works, because everybody can go by the ADA, and the ADA
Yeah.
is the numbers, but that's the legal, that's not the spirit of the
Mhm.
law.
Yeah.
I mean,
And it's
going in and
open to
saying, yeah,
interpretation is the other
yes,
thing.
Sure.
It's.
right, and lived experience, you have so many little insights. I mean, I
Yeah.
traveled across the country and stayed in various hotels, worked with Marriott a lot, and just in exchange for hotel rooms, like, I'll come
Hmm.
in and I'll give you a
Yeah.
rundown of my experience from my perspective, and I will, give you some advice afterwards for, you
Hmm.
know, 3 or 4 days free for this, and they're generally somewhat receptive. I've been lucky to meet people, but it's a lot of writing. You have
Yeah.
to write and
Yeah.
write and write until you hit the one person that's like, "Ooh, that sounds good," and you have to, even when
That's
say
that's the
no.
question. How do you
Yeah.
find the right person, Ellen?
You Google them and you figure out their email. So you have to figure out the email system. Like, is it the first name dot last name
Yeah.
at
Yeah.
Southwest? So Southwest Airlines, I was doing an article on scuba diving, and I got my scuba diving training free because I was doing the article. But I needed airfare to get to Utah to do my open water. And it was right after Kevin Smith had gone on social media against Southwest because they wanted him to pay for 2 seats because he was heavier. And
No.
he just went on a rage about them. And it was big because Kevin Smith did Clerks and is a big director and
Hmm.
producer. And
Hmm.
when he complained about it, they got a lot of flack for it. And I contacted their PR agency, and they were like,
Hmm.
no, thank you. But I also included the CEO. So you find out the CEO, and the CEO was like,
Oh,
oh no, we could use some good publicity
Yeah.
right now. And so
yeah.
he said yes, even after they said no. So I mean, it's a lot. Even getting a hold of the Greek tourism took me 4 months of emailing
Mm.
the Greek
Back and
offices,
forth.
the New York offices, and every name that I could think
Yeah.
of. And you get a lot of bounce back emails, but eventually, if you're persistent, it will come through. And sometimes they
Yeah.
say yes, sometimes they say no.
Yep.
It does help to have. So even our little podcast here, I'm like, I am on a podcast once a month. That
Yeah.
is, I don't know, I don't have to
Yeah.
tell my numbers, that our numbers are not in the millions,
Yeah.
but it is something that it is a
But you're out
targeted
there. Yeah.
audience. Yeah, we're out here, and you
Absolutely.
also, those of you that run groups, right? That are out
Yeah.
there working with organizations, even if you just work with Triumph or you work with Wings or you work with so and so, you have an in to
To the
a
community.
targeted population and to a
Yes.
community,
Absolutely.
and our word to each other has a lot of value, because when I hear from
Absolutely.
Julianne that this works, I'm going to believe it, right? As opposed to if I
Exactly.
hear Southwest saying they're the best airline for disability, I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I don't know
Right.
if that's true. But if I hear
Yeah.
from one of y'all, it's like, oh yeah, I went on this
Right.
airline, it was great, I'm gonna
It
do it.
was
If I
great.
hear like they broke my wheelchair, I had to sit on the plane for
Yeah.
2 hours, and this happened, then it kind of sucks. So
It
we
changes. Yeah.
share that information and we
Yeah.
listen. So
Okay.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it was my PR training and my upbringing that's like, just ask. All they can do is say no,
Great.
and
That's right.
Yep.
that hurt.
Just one more thing to add, kind of, and now, of course, everybody's familiar with the GoFundMe pages and all of that, but there actually are several uh, crowdfunding sources that are available for medical related expenses. And actually, just going through, I at first I thought it was just Help Hope Live. That one I think is kind of more popular, and I've known a couple of people who've done that. But just kind of quickly looking, there's another one called Give a Hand, and a third one called Give, Send, Go. So unlike GoFundMe, because GoFundMe takes a percentage of the donations that are made to
Hmm.
you,
Oh,
and
they do.
Yeah.
then if you're getting a big old check for however much you raise, $10,000 or whatever, that might affect your benefits. And
Yes.
one of the go arounds for that is a lot of these foundations who provide funding do not give you money. They will go out and purchase the chair, purchase the bike, purchase whatever it is, because if they see $10,000 going through your, your account, and hey, wait a minute, ooh, they flag it, and then they immediately want to stop your benefits and all of that. So
Right.
that, is really crucial, that you do not get the actual check,
Yes.
that you get the
And
equipment that's needed.
I'm not sure about the other ones, but I know Help Hope Live also
Mm,
teaches you how to raise money for yourself. They
yeah.
will coach you and give you instruction, and then whatever money actually comes in is in an account saved
Hmm.
for you and does not count against your benefits.
Yeah.
So
And the
that's a
good old
nice,
fashioned community fundraiser. Hey,
uh-huh,
a lot of these little small towns, or if you belong to a particular place of worship, remember those, the car washes and the pancake breakfast and the
Yep.
bake
whatever it
sales.
is. Community really wants to help their own people. And, maybe, you put out there, oh, we need an accessible van to transport, my son, or whatever kind of a thing. And, we're going to do a spaghetti dinner, whatever. And the whole community shows up. And, that's a great way to fund things that you need, because
And your
they
church.
may not be able to write you a check for $1,000 or $200, but hey, I
Mhm.
can go there and buy 2 plates of pasta or whatever it is, and it's just, it makes people feel good that they can contribute in that way, however small their donation is. Going back to my wings days, there was a lady who took care of her disabled son, severely disabled. Every few months here and there, I would get an envelope with $1 in it. And that is what she could give. And I'm thinking,
Oh,
wow, for some people, $1 is a big deal
yeah,
to say, here, take it. But then if you think about it, it's like we used to have thousands of people on our mailing list. If every one of these people sent in $1, say
yeah,
a month or whatever it is, it's like, wow, it would really make a difference. So however little or however much you contribute, you know what? It all adds up. So
yeah.
yeah,
And
get out.
a lot of these, going back to GoFundMe, I mean, if you were
Hmm.
doing a GoFundMe and grandma sent $100, well, thanks, grandma. Grandma gets nothing out of it, you know.
Yeah.
But Help Hope Live or another organization like that, grandma gets a tax deduction for a hundred
Yes.
bucks.
Exactly. Yeah.
So that's an added benefit.
Hmm. Yes. Absolutely. All right. Let me see. Okay. Now, also, don't be a what is it? Don't be a repeat requester. I mean, I know, we could use this and that and that, blah 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 blah. So prioritize what you're going to apply for. It's like, is the thing that's going to be more important and that's really going to add to your quality of life is, I'm going to do it. Some organizations, you have to wait a few years before you can reapply. But don't go to every organization because you want this and you want that and blah 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 blah. It doesn't look good for us. you
Except
know
if you're going to this and that organization all for your one thing. And that
yes,
looks
exactly,
excellent
better.
because looking at
Absolutely.
the application, if you say on that, hey, I already got $100 from these guys and $2,000 from these guys, we're going
Yeah.
to put all of our efforts into
We
supporting you
can't help
because
with that. Yeah.
we know what work went into that, you know. And
Hmm.
if you say my church did a fundraiser for me, oh boy, are we going to try to help you. And the same thing with some of these big guys like the Braun Corporation every year, and
Hmm.
used to be Mobility Works, maybe they still do. They'll give away one van per year. And you have to, I think, write an essay and blah, blah, blah. You have to follow all their rules. But that's, hey, you get a new van.
Hmm. Yeah.
So you can imagine how big the competition is. But when I was working for Mobility Works, what they told me was if they get somebody who can prove, they did an art show and raised this much money, or their church did this, or something like that, that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it does. And you know what? I know sometimes they have to say no. Sometimes they run out of funding, or sometimes they didn't get all the information they needed, or you didn't quite qualify, kind of a thing, and they have to say no. I know it's hard to say no because we know how legit these requests are, because everything is overpriced. And now forget it. You could get a chair a few years back, a nice decent chair, 3,000 to 5. Now it's like 7 to
Oh,
10.
please.
Everything has gone up.
So
Absolutely.
expensive.
And just think, price of just a cushion for your chair and all of that. So if they don't fund your request at that time, look at your application, and they'll usually tell you, sorry, you didn't meet this criteria, blah, blah, blah. So then you work on it, so that way the next application window that comes up, you've kind of improved your request. You put together all the information that they need and all of that, and then give it a go. Don't go online and badmouth them because you didn't give me the whatever I wanted, control for my
You'll never
video
get a
games or
dime from
whatever
anybody
kind of a
else.
thing. Yeah, because you will never ever, exactly, nobody will ever want to give you money. You have to realize too that, they probably get thousands of applicants per year, per period, and all of that, and they can't say yes to everybody. So, be nice. Be nice.
Another Another thing you
Come
can
back.
do is if you're applying for equipment, as Michelle said about a wheelchair, and you have to get the quotes. We say 3 quotes. Then you can absolutely talk to the management of whoever you're getting those quotes from, explain that you're going to this or
Yeah.
that foundation, tell them, which is quite true, that they will
Mhm.
have a better chance of actually getting repeat business from this organization if they have the lowest quote and they work with you the very best.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jeanette was just saying that Vanessa went to Dubai and to educate, right? And got it partially paid. And also overcoming change. Like, look at people, instead of Christmas gifts, maybe start a fund, and you put $10 in a month. And if you've got 10 people and everybody's putting $10 in at the end of the year, you can sort of see who needs what, and then it could go to that.
Mhm.
Putting a little aside, I think, is really important. And also, Steve was saying, for adventures, there are so many organizations that offer free opportunities to ski, to surf,
Mhm.
I mean, if you just want to get out and go and live, there are so
Mhm.
many great organizations that will fund that
Yeah.
adventure, right, for
Yeah.
you. And
Or just
and
give it to you free. Fish for
yes,
Life. I
Yeah.
went fishing on the ocean with Fish for Life out
Yeah.
of Santa Barbara. I think they also go out of Long Beach. Nicest people in the world. And they have room for, I think, 5 wheelchairs along with their regular crowd. Didn't charge me a
Fish
thing.
for life. Oh, very cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Now, do
there
you
are
really have?
places out there. Go ahead, Michelle.
Yes. Oh, sorry about that.
No, no, you were going to say something, and
I
I
was
cut
gonna.
you off.
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to myself. I was gonna make a note about something. Yes, but also, organizations that put events together locally. Um, a lot of them are free, and a lot of them offer scholarships to participate in. So if you want to go surfing, and or whatever it is that is happening, the majority of them do offer scholarships if you can't afford the fee to participate. So, there's ways to get around it, or ways to be able to participate without having to shell out the money on your own, because our dollars are precious.
Yes, dollars are definitely precious, and life with a
Mhm.
disability is more expensive. It just is more
Absolutely.
expensive. Everything costs more, and even with insurance and even with whatever, there are so many out-of-pocket costs and extras,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it is expensive, and you know what? You
Yeah.
deserve to live fully. So,
Yeah.
if you're making the effort out there to do it, I say go
Yeah.
for it. But I was because I don't see it in the Julianne. You said, what is the travel one? The company that helps with travel? Like, hey,
Uh,
I'm going to Ireland in May, and it's for a conference, but they offer a little bit of a scholarship, and our university is under budget cuts and they're not paying for
Mm-hmm.
international travel. So now, and of course, I don't know if others, I can't necessarily travel alone anymore, especially
Yeah.
overseas. So when I'm going to travel, yes, I can sometimes get a friend that wants to go with me, but even then, I prefer to have somebody that can help me with my personal needs. And so, we're sometimes responsible not
Yeah.
only for our travel, but to have
Mm-hmm.
somebody come with us. And then so now it's all double, right? Even if they
Exactly.
pay for part
Yeah.
of it, you can't expect them to pay to come help you. And. So it all just starts to add up a little bit at a time. So that
Well, the
was
one that I found on, what's this one? United Spinal is called the New Perspective Foundation. However, it just says travel assistance grants, but listen to this, helps individuals in Ohio, Georgia, and Florida who are currently hospitalized due to a spinal cord injury by assisting their family and friends with airfare,
oh,
gasoline, and lodging
Wow,
expenses
that's great.
so they can travel to support them in their time of need. Isn't that
that's
cool?
awesome.
That's
But that is
great.
really great. Yeah. To
Yeah.
have people there. So that's awesome.
Yeah, it is. Because, I mean, you don't always get hurt near home, sometimes
Oh,
you're in
or
another
your family's not near you,
or
and it's
whatever
really
near you.
hard.
Yeah, exactly. That's great.
That's
And then
awesome. Yeah.
another thing we should mention is there are lots of organizations specific to whatever your disability is. So if you've got MS, if you've got ALS, whatever it is, there
Oh, very
may
Exactly.
be
cool.
an organization that specifically funds your condition or your situation
Yes,
or
absolutely.
your nationality or.
Yeah.
So Bobby, I was talking to Bobby earlier today, and he was saying he uses Chat GPT to get his list. Google it,
Hey,
Google
yeah.
your specifics, and.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. And then so yeah, I mean, and sometimes there's like these little niche organizations that, if you want to learn to do whatever, they'll help fund. I don't recall the name of one, but there was one to help fund like an art sabbatical. So I believe they do it in twice. They do it in Santa Barbara and in Vermont. And I believe it's like a 2-week period where they provide the housing and they also include an attendant if you need to have an attendant while you're
I want to
staying there.
go.
I've been looking at, I know, I'm like, I
Come
gotta
on,
look that up. Love to
remember.
go to Santa Fe. And yeah, and they'll pay you to come create art, be
Oh,
part
that's
of this
awesome.
community. So, there's lots of funding out there for different things. And just, yeah, get on your computer, Google, do whatever it is, go to the big organizations because most of us, for example, like Triumph, we'll have a list of funding sources that we know are available, within our community. So don't give up and don't think that, oh my, I'm never going to get my arm cycle or my power, whatever it is. More than likely you can find a funding source out there that would
And
love to
also,
provide.
and I'll also just add that Leah was talking about the action track that's now at Burbank on their adaptive trail, which is really awesome. And I know that there's some beaches, and there are
Yeah.
several beaches. If you contact ahead, you can get the beach wheelchair from their
Hmm.
lifeguard towers for free
Hmm.
and use them on the beach. So there, not
Yeah.
only are there places that fund adventures, there are adaptive equipment that is free to access
Yeah.
the adventures, but also thinking about giving back. Now I know Triumph was giving a car away. I don't know if they gave it away yet, but the car that they're giving away was donated by a friend of mine, now Nancy Kennedy, who passed in 2024. So also, if when you're making your will and all of those things, and nobody in your family is going to be able to drive that adapted vehicle, you
Yeah.
can look at donating those to organizations that can then refab them and give them to somebody else, because that's what Nancy
Yeah.
was able to do with her van. And
Good.
Triumph took it, did whatever it needed done to it, and
Yeah.
sent it back. So I mean, it's just an amazing opportunity to also think about what's out there for us, but what can we also give back to the community. And I really think that
Hmm.
overcoming change, like that $10 a month, really, if you just put it away, it's there if you
Hmm.
needed it, but at the end of the year, for somebody that needed it, it can make a difference if you have a lot of people out there, just
Or
putting it
yeah,
together.
or if you
Are we
were granted, say, a standing frame, but something happened to you and you can no longer stand. There's 10, 20 people who want a standing frame out there. So,
Yes.
think about either donating it to an organization or a friend, that from whatever that really needs a standing frame. And so that's another way to give back.
Triumph has their warehouse that you can look at stuff, but every time I try to contact somebody, they never get back. But
Really?
I wanted those wheels that you push backwards to go forwards. And there's a
Backward.
special wheelchair wheel. So you instead of pushing forward, you push backwards, but it propels it forwards because we're always
Oh,
killing our freaking shoulders. So
Yeah.
somebody had those on there, and I looked at those.
yeah.
And Nadine, you're right. I mean, accessible rooms are either more expensive; they're not supposed to be. It's
Right.
actually illegal, or they only have a freaking king size bed. This is the problem with
Yeah.
accessible rooms.
Yeah.
Only accessible room has a king size bed. I'm sorry, I'm traveling with my daughter and her partner, or I'm traveling with
Yeah.
my assistant. Don't really want to have to sleep in the same bed with them. Thank you very much. Right? I mean, so it's like we travel with friends and people, but then so instead of one room, you end up having to get 2 rooms, right? Because you don't want to be sleeping in the same bed. Now that's twice as expensive, whereas everybody else has got the double queen rooms and 4 people in that room, and you're like, it's me in the king bed, or I'm sleeping with people I don't want to be sleeping with.
Just a whole different problem.
In my earlier days, I'd just sleep, whatever, whoever. Now I'm like, no, I want my own, I want my own space.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I have found that even going to Europe now, looking at hotels, I'm like, the biggest room is, we have 2 beds. I'm like, okay, but are they, kings or queens or no? And but every freaking accessible room only has a king.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like,
and you only have like 2 feet between the beds, and you can only
if you're lucky.
If you're lucky. No, I find the accessibility factor and the extra cost for extra time and planning it takes is, I think, one of the most frustrating. It's not only extra money, it takes so much extra time to do anything. Are there accessible bathrooms? And there was, when we were in Greece, there was an app that listed all the accessible bathrooms and rated them, which is great because, someplace says it's accessible, but it's down 3 stairs.
Yeah. And you show up, exactly. Yes, it's accessible. There's just this 12-inch step that you got to jump over to get into the restaurant, right? Yeah.
You'll be fine. It's like, that's not going to work. That's not going to work.
Yeah, it's accessible. We'll push you through the kitchen and go all the way.
Oh yeah,
to get to your table. So that's how. Yeah.
Graciela asked if we're going to be at the Abilities Expo.
Well, that gives me a good lead in. Thanks, Graciela, because this morning I got a call from a guy who works for he started Courageous Comics. He makes whatever you call comics books these days. Graphic
novels.
Comic books. Graphic novels. Thank you, Ellen. Anyway, and the superheroes are have disabilities too, and he's gonna do a cosplay thing at the Abilities Expo on Saturday. And he's looking for people, hopefully who have experience in cosplay. But even if you don't, and you just got a personality where you just want to play a superhero, he's looking for 2 people in wheelchairs and 1 blind person, able-bodied blind. Yeah, Daniel, thank you for reminding me.
That sounds up your alley, Ellen.
Yeah. Let's see, the superheroes are Lytra and Thunderous. And Serenity is blind. So I will put Daniel's number in the chat. So if you and he is paying, by the way.
Oh, very cool.
That's awesome. Very nice.
Paying actual money and exchange of and giving you some merch as well.
Cool. I want a hotel. It's in frickin' Anaheim, people.
No, it's in
Long Beach.
Long Beach. Okay.
Yeah.
Almost Anaheim.
Yeah, but
it's
I'm
a
not
freaking
sure
long way away.
Improve their parking situation for vans, but I remember the last time it was there, it was kind of, limited.
It's just that,
So
I mean,
they
I think
just
it's
took
hard.
this whole section and made it supposedly handicapped, but people don't follow the rules and leaving the space that you need to get out and all of that. So, and the thing is now with my van, I don't even know if I can get into their parking structure
That's what I
because
was going
it's
to ask you. Weren't you in a full
slightly
size
higher.
before?
Yeah, but this is a different vehicle and different tires, so now I'm a
You're
skosh
higher?
higher. Yeah. And
Yeah, I don't know.
those signs that indicate how high it is aren't always true. And sometimes it gets
Oh,
lower when you're in the parking structure. So, yeah.
and there goes the roof of your van.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I don't know. I mean, I know, Julianne, you're probably going, Julie.
yeah, I'll be there all 3 days. I retired from working for Abilities in sales, but I am still an ambassador for Abilities for the LA area show. So I'll be there all 3 days. And I'm the MC for the Miss Wheelchair California
Oh,
2026,
Woo!
which will be
yeah.
Saturday afternoon at 4 p.m.
Oh,
Very
So
nice.
all right.
if you're going to be there on Saturday, we got cosplay. Oh, Courageous Comics. Daniel asked me to play a villain. So I don't know what villain, but he's designing the villain for me. I'll be there as a villain or villainess
Very nice.
or so
Very
I'll
cool.
be a villain in the afternoon. I'll be the MC at 4 o'clock.
Very cool. Yeah.
Very cool.
So yes, I will be there.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I don't know if I'm going. I haven't made my mind up. It's long.
Oh, great.
It's a long drive.
One day we'll do
I
it.
have to see
Yeah, I
what's
know.
going on, how many papers I
Camarillo.
have to grade. I don't know, huh? I hate, I'm getting older. I don't want to drive 2 hours to get down
Yeah.
somewhere. I mean,
Yeah.
and Long Beach from the valley is at least 90 minutes to 2 hours there, and
Yeah.
then the parking and 2 hours back. And I don't know. We'll see. I'll see how I
Yeah.
feel in March.
You
So
gotta, yes,
Yeah,
we
I'm definitely
prioritize our
staying
our
there.
I'm
trips.
just
Yeah.
being authentic with y'all. I hate
How
frickin'
about-
driving.
Yeah.
Julianne is the equivalent of the Rose Parade Queen. She's the one, and she's got more energy than all of us. I don't even know
All
how
over,
to.
right?
Oh,
She's
thanks.
woo! She is but yeah, I mean, between work and whatever,
Yeah.
I am not retired yet. Maybe when I'm retired, I'll be able to want to do
You go
those
everywhere.
things.
I
Just go
highly
everywhere.
recommend retirement.
I
Hey,
just
I
heard
was gonna say,
Leah
you
Fluke.
retired, Julianne,
Yeah,
but
I
you're
can't
just as
type in
busy.
the chat. 1 second. Leah, can you type in Daniel's phone number for me? It's 650-922-2806. And that's
Oh,
Daniel
very
from
Yeah.
Courageous Comics. Oh, nice. Okay,
awesome.
that
Very
must
cool.
See that?
be
Oh,
that must
wow.
be
Very
late.
cool.
So who wants to play Lytra? Ellen, it's you, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me 30 years ago. I think we've got the young folks out there that wanna. I mean, look at her. She does remind me of somebody we know, one of the young ones that are in the chair out.
Tiffany. Remember
Yeah,
Tiffany?
Tiffany. Should get to Tiffany, but there's so many of the of y'all out there that can,
Yeah.
do
Absolutely.
that. I'm
Be
gonna
like
be
Look,
the.
look at the
I
abs.
I
Come
am
on.
the villain. Yeah, I know. Look at those abs. That's also a
Yeah.
para.
Look at the boobs,
Obviously
my
a
God.
para
Who
and
can
not a
push with
quad
those?
with those abs.
True.
I don't know
True.
any quad with abs like that. That's
Val-
well, that's
valid
awesome to
point.
see.
Anyway,
I mean, the comics and stuff. Can I just be I would rather be the villain. I'd rather be
Yeah.
a villain these days.
that's what I
The
said.
superhero.
Yeah, I'd rather be a
Yeah.
villain.
Oh,
But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, I think the key is Michelle, you said it so well of really, listing what it is you want and understanding and researching it and, being committed to it because I think that passion for what you want and
yeah.
why you want it is going to come out in the letter that you
Yeah.
write or the application that you complete.
Mhm.
And, ask people. Do you, when you're at these events, do you know anything? What is there? Is there,
Yeah.
I mean, even asking, is there a discount, right?
Yeah.
Is there a potential discount? Because I think that that's awesome.
And try
the
out the
roulette.
equipment if you can, because
Yes.
you may see something and it looks fun and it looks great, but then once you get into it, you find out, oh my God,
I
it's
hate it.
killing my neck. I can't do that motion. Like the arm cycle thing. It's like I've done it. It's fun, but it kills that
Oh,
motion
your neck. Yeah.
kills my neck. Oh my God, yeah. So
Um,
it's like, okay, I'm good for 10 minutes, and then it's like, okay, I can't move my neck, kind of
Yeah,
a
yeah.
and I
thing.
know,
So
That was great advice.
yeah. And
yeah, because
yeah,
part of
there's
the,
all kinds of things you can try at the expo. So
oh
before you
yeah,
even start doing, okay, you know what? Is there a possibility this is going to work for me?
part
Go
of the
ahead,
Yeah.
Jen.
cal rehab application is, have you tried the equipment? Have you tried it with a PT, or ATP, some
Whatever. Yeah.
professional? But if you haven't tried it, then
Yeah.
forget it. We're not going to
Yeah.
pay for it.
Yeah.
Not until, yeah. But we have had an application that said, yes, I tried it at the Abilities Expo, and it worked great for me. So
Yeah. 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 Because
That
we
is
can
key.
wish for many, many things, but they might not necessarily work. Maybe that's a
for
piece of
you,
equipment meant for a para, not a quad. You don't have that balance and stuff. So, yes, definitely go out there and try everything that's out there available.
Yes.
And that's your
Yeah.
opportunity to ask questions too,
Yeah.
before you even submit your grant application. Talk to the vendors and, get as much
Absolutely. And try.
info.
Yeah. And it's good to be honest with what you're going to do. Because I have a new step. I got it as a trade out. I did an article on weight
Hmm.
loss, and I convinced them to give me one.
good
Um,
for you.
'Cause yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I get everything. I've been doing this my entire freaking life. I've gotten so much free shit, which is nice.
Uh,
It
yep,
is, except it's sitting in my room, holding my clothes. I mean, and I
Yeah.
love
there
the
you
new
go.
step. I think it's one of the greatest machines ever. It's
Hmm.
just getting like anybody else, able-bodied, disabled, just like getting into the routine. During COVID, I did it every day. It was so good.
Yeah.
And then keep telling myself I'm going to do it again. And then, today turns into tomorrow, and tomorrow turns into next
Yeah.
month turns into next year. And you're like, when's the last
Yeah.
time I cleaned my ass on that thing? So it's been a
Yeah.
while.
Lord.
But getting that motivation, but that's why also the place you talked about, that they'll give you support to get out and to go places. And I'm also
Hmm.
incredibly lucky. I have the Center of Achievement at Cal State Northridge, which is an
Hmm.
adaptive physical education program for faculty, staff, students, and the community. And they also, yes, it is a program that costs, but they also provide
Hmm.
scholarships for
Good.
individuals,
Good.
especially individuals with spinal cord injury, because they get them through a foundation that supports spinal cord injury. So,
Fantastic.
yeah, and it is there, and they have like 7 new steps, but I also have to meet a student, so I'm obligated to go to
Yeah.
meet my student, to get stretched, to do the workout and everything else, and that makes a
Hmm.
difference, right? So
Hmm.
Yeah.
sometimes having that shared commitment, is a really
Yeah.
good thing to have, as opposed to just getting the equipment, because you can get the
Hmm.
Right.
equipment and it becomes,
Yeah.
and it's not what you thought it would be.
Yeah. Exactly.
And
Except
I'm
to
glad
hold
that it
close.
has except the clothes. Except hold
Except
clothes.
to
Yeah.
It does a
hold
really
close.
good job. It holds the clothes really well. My witch's hat from Halloween is right on the handle of it. It's like it holds the hat really well. It looks really good. No, I just have my goal. Okay, I'm gonna tell you before next month. My goal is to get back on it and to do it again. Because it's you can sit and watch TV and just pedal, and when you move your arms, it
Yeah.
moves your legs, and it's
Yeah.
just it's getting back into the routine. But
Yeah.
again, I got that as a trade out. Again, if they're repping things or going to an expo, asking them to, hey, I'll demo it at the expo for you if you give me one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got it. I will do it, Leah. I keep telling
Okay.
myself that, but I was so good because I will say I lost a bunch of weight after my divorce, which was really good. And it makes a difference. When we have to lift ourselves, we're lifting all of our weight. So, for us, weight becomes a real issue in terms of mobility, right? So,
Hmm. Yeah.
because to transfer, do anything, I can feel the real difference if I gain 3 or 4 pounds. It is.
Yeah.
I think it's different than if people, are walking around and gain a few pounds, but I can feel it in
Hmm.
the transfer, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what the hell? Or if our strength goes, like I'm picking up my legs, I'm like, are there freaking weights on my legs? All of a sudden,
Yeah.
my legs feel so heavy to lift and try to
Yeah.
move them. What the hell?
Yeah.
Either I'm getting too old, or My legs are
Well,
getting too
that's
heavy.
true. I
Oh
mean,
no.
as we age, our ability, I really noticed on my left hand how much less strength and grip I have. Especially, at the end of the day, I've got to rolling backwards in my van.
Yeah.
And sometimes I absolutely have no strength in my left hand. So it's like I'm trying to get on my lift, pushing one wheel. It
Yeah.
doesn't work too well sometimes and stuff.
Been there, done
So
that. Yeah.
yeah, there are lots,
I mean,
lots.
and that is the thing for all you young folk out there, able-bodied, temporarily able-bodied, or living with an impairment and a disability.
Hmm.
Um, take care of your body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take care of it
Yeah.
because one of the things I know aging in the wheelchair, I mean, there's some things you can't avoid, but
Yeah.
if you can get access to a power assist and if you find the right vendor, they will write it up for you, even if you look like the most in shape para ever.
Hmm.
Save your workouts for working out, but your
Where
everyday
it's
life,
safe.
yeah,
Not just
your
for
everyday
pushing.
life should not be wearing tearing because the arthritis
Yeah.
in my fingers that have now happened. I mean, there's, and it makes a difference in what you can do. I
Yeah.
wish that I had known about. I mean, there wasn't when I was first injured because it was
Hmm.
freaking,
Yeah.
almost half a century.
80s.
I have been injured almost a half a century,
Oh
which
gosh.
is pretty
Well,
freaking
you don't
curious.
look it. That's what's
Thank you.
important.
There
I'm
you
just
go. Yeah.
but I was saying if they'd had it, I probably wouldn't have done it because of ego and
Right.
internalized
Yeah.
ableism and all that bullshit. But I'm like, put that
Hmm.
aside and honor your body to take care of it
Yeah.
because after 40 years in a chair, when your fingers start to go, it's hard. When you get,
Yeah.
numbness in your
It really
hands because
is.
of
Yeah.
carpal tunnel, you can't. So,
Hmm.
think long term, enjoy life, live
Yeah.
fully, get out there and do it, but also honor your
Hmm.
body
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it's got to last, man. And,
And
I
it's
gotta,
easy to injure it.
I just saying, I saw my
Yeah.
105-year-old workout partner today and still going strong. She is out there at 105, still doing her
Wow.
workout at the Center of Achievement. And I'm like, that is like
Oh
43 years.
wow.
43
Ooh.
more years, I will be 105, right? That is a whole nother lifetime. And here she
Yeah.
is, just
No
stopped driving
kidding.
at 103. And
Oh
she's
my
in there,
God. Wow.
yeah, and she's in there working out every Tuesday and Thursday, doing her own
Good
workout,
for
doing
her.
weights, doing aerobic. Um, so that's like amazing.
Yeah.
105.
That's so great to
Absolutely
hear. Thank
bonkers.
you
Yeah.
for telling us that.
She is amazing.
Yeah.
Her name is Ruth.
Yeah. Oh.
Every time I see her, and she loves my dog. So she's always
Oh.
so happy to see my dog. More than me, I think.
And it's so awesome that she still has the strength and motivation to get out there and keep doing it.
Yes.
Bless her heart.
Now
Wow.
she's
Yes.
not in a wheelchair, right?
No, but she's 105. So
Yeah.
Not walking fast, not jogging.
she's not jogging,
Yeah.
but she's moving pretty good. I mean, I actually thought they were lying to me when they
Yeah.
told me. I'm like, you're
Yeah.
lying, and everybody thought because she does not look 100. I mean, I don't know what 105 looks like,
Wow.
but
Yeah.
her mobility and everything she's been through, and part of it is that continuing to keep moving, to
Hmm.
engaging with
Absolutely.
people, to having
Yeah.
community around you. And I would say
Hmm.
look for those resources. If you
Yeah.
want your house to be more accessible, look at those accessible housing resources.
Hmm.
Make your
Absolutely.
everyday life as to take the least energy out if you can qualify
Absolutely.
for in-home supportive services, get your in-home supportive services.
Hmm.
Even if it's only 5 hours a week, if you qualify, get that. Look at
Yeah.
what's out there to support you so you can optimize your function. All of your
Yeah.
energy should not be going to simply surviving. You should be
Yeah.
out there thriving, and there are resources to help you thrive.
And don't settle. If it's like, oh well, oh, I'm stuck at this apartment that has this whatever thing I have to deal with every day. So, oh, I have to do this and that and blah, blah, blah to be able to do whatever, to be independent and get it. It's like, you know what? That's going to wear you down. If you're having
Yep.
to take extra steps to accomplish what you need to do, in your day or whatever it is, that's more taxing on you and your body and
Yes.
time. And then you're kind of, oh, forget it. Well, I'm just not even going to do that anymore, kind of a thing. So, yes,
And
absolutely.
demand your hours. If you get in-home supportive services, I spoke at their event and I said, don't ask your clients if they can do it. We can do a lot of shit, right? but it takes all of our time and energy to do that. And now we have no time and energy to live. So
Okay.
ask what we need support with so we can
Yeah.
go out and go to school or go to work or go to events and do things. And I'm hoping they can change their mind, because just because you can do it doesn't mean doing it is safe for you or that it's the best choice of action, because what you really need to be doing is living and enjoying life, not spending 3 hours just to get in and
Yeah.
out of bed, and to go to the bathroom.
Another pointer on that is that if you can't perform that task every day as many times as if it has to be 3-4 times a day, if you cannot consistently do that function, then it's a no-go.
Yes.
No, I can't
Or if you're
transfer
sick,
myself to
right?
the shower. Or yeah, well, I can do it on a Tuesday afternoon after blah blah blah, but on Thursday I can't do it. I'm done for the week or whatever it is. So whatever task, I mean, it's not lying. And sometimes we
No.
want to kind of fool ourselves thinking, "Oh yeah, I can do it." You want to be strong, you want to be, and all of that. But it's like, okay, I can do it 3 times, and by the time it's 6-7 o'clock, I can't do it anymore. It's like, oh
Right.
yeah, I can get out of bed, I can get dressed, but I can't get out of my chair at night to get to bed or whatever.
Now,
So it's just consistency is everything. So they say, "Can you do this?" You just say, "I cannot consistently perform this task." You don't have to tell them I can do it,
yes,
3 times,
absolutely.
or if
And
the
that is
sky
a
is
hard
blue.
thing to do.
Yeah, it
It's a
is.
hard thing to do, especially if you're
Mhm.
one of the youngers. As I get older, I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, I can do it once and
Yeah,
that's it.
right.
Or I can
Once,
do it, but if I
Sometimes.
fall, if
yeah,
I can do it, but if I fall doing it, the last time I fell doing it, I broke my fib tip. So,
yeah,
do you think it's really safe that I'm doing it without somebody there? Probably
yeah, I
not.
know.
Curling my
Yeah,
hair with a curling iron. Yeah, it's all well and good till you drop the frickin' thing in your lap and now you can't get it off fast enough and you have a third-degree burn. So, yeah,
oh my
probably
god.
not a good idea. Can I do it?
Put a towel on your lap next time and
I do. I mean, but I'm saying, can I do it? Is it probably the best
yeah, right.
idea that I do it without supervision? Probably
Exactly. Yeah.
not. But that's pretty much everything in my life right now. I
Right.
probably need supervision for just about everything I do.
There we go.
So I
Yeah.
don't get into trouble, end up in jail. That's what I
Oh
need
god.
supervision for.
Well,
Pass the
circling
day.
back, and all these numbers, like for IHSS and other government stuff, are also on these lists. So you can find them on Triumph Foundation's website, find them on United Spinal, you can find them on Christopher Reeve, and you can probably find them in a lot of other places with
Other
Google or
places, yeah.
ChatGPT.
Yes.
Exactly. The beauty of
Yes.
the internet. Yes, you can find anything you want. All right,
Yeah, and
guys.
we were having a conversation right before we came on the air, trying to figure out about CalAble and SSI and SSDI, and the three of us couldn't agree on what the rules are. So go to the websites; you're better
Yes.
off.
Absolutely. Go to the
Yeah,
websites, but also talk to other people that work with the systems or have used the systems and
exactly.
find out the tricks and tips, because the best resources are the community that have
Right.
shared experiences. They really, I mean,
Exactly.
I learned so much from these ladies today. Um, so I learn every time I'm with this group, and you'd think after 43 years, I'd have it all handled, but there's always more
Oh
information,
god.
always more insights, and really from people who are
Absolutely.
sharing the lived experience,
Hmm.
they are some of the best resources you'll ever
Yeah.
have. So,
Hmm.
So come
enjoy.
back and see us maybe next month or the month after.
That
We can do something on
yeah.
government funding after we do our homework for a while.
Yeah.
Well,
And
yeah,
and that's the thing. It's
absolutely.
like how great to have support from your own community, people who've been there, done that, can offer insight and experience and all of that to turn to. And you don't always have to go in it alone and try to figure everything out by yourself. Chances are one of us has already dealt with that issue, and ask. Get out there and ask.
Absolutely. And thank you, Leah and Leon and Gracie and Nicole and Jeanette and Nadine and Fernando, and I know there are a couple other people out there. Really appreciate you all being out there and supporting us. I think Tara and Rob are out there, but they must have different names because Nicole said hey to them. But we appreciate you all being here and all of you hanging out with us and sharing your insights. And I'm going to let Julianne or Michelle do our closing credits with our sponsors. It is 4:37, so we're a little over. So
yeah, all right, go for it, Julianne.
All right. So make sure you frequent mobility professionals and urology professionals for all of your disability needs. Thanks, Leon. I'm glad you enjoyed the episode. And come back and see us next Thursday. Or let's see,
next
where are we?
month.
March. Yeah, next
March
month. First Thursday of every month at 3:30, and you'll find these three characters sharing our probably 100 years in the wheelchair, the wisdom of all those years.
And I think Mickey was out there, and I just want to send my love to Mickey. We miss you, we love you, and we're
we miss you, Mickey.
And come back.
Hope you're doing well. That's
right. Thank you all. Have a great weekend.
For you.
Have a nice Valentine's
All right,
Day.
take care, guys.
Valentine's, Valentines and all those times.